So we finally got our Birds of Prey-esque episode with Arrow Season 7, Episode 18, Lost Canary, and this was a pretty cool episode, guys, so let's break this down. How's it going, Vigilantes? Welcome to another review and breakdown of Arrow Season 7, Episode 18, Lost Canary. So this was Laurel's episode and what has been described as a Birds of Prey-esque episode, and it was totally that, with Sarah Lance coming in, with Dinah, with Felicity, and Laurel herself. And it is nice to finally have, I guess you could finally say this, like in the way that her journey has kind of, I wouldn't say come to an end, because she still has like more work to do, but you know, they've definitely left it at a chapter now where we won't be seeing her again, I believe, until the finale. Don't quote me on that, but I've also heard a lot of fans like, did Katie Cassidy leave the show last night or something like that? No, because she was filming, I believe, you know, behind the scenes photos for the finale, and I'm sure we'll see her in Arrow Season 8 as well. But you know, in regards to this episode, I thought it was good, but I didn't find it absolutely mind-blowing, not at all. Like, I wasn't like, oh my freaking god, but it was still good. I don't want you guys to think that I thought it was bad, although I did have a few issues with it. Like, I guess, you know, when you're looking at it critically, there are always issues that kind of present itself. But regardless, guys, let's get straight into this breakdown. Of course, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. And if you want to talk with me directly about Arrow, definitely join my Discord server. And lastly, like this video if you do go on to enjoy it, and subscribe if you're brand new. So the episode started off with Black Siren wanting to see Shadow Thief. This is what we kind of got from the trailers, where it looked like, oh great, Laurel's going full on evil. How are they going to swing this around? Even if she becomes good by the end of the episode, is that going to feel all kind of rushed? And that is basically what happened, but I guess we'll talk about that when we get to it, because no matter if this is what you really wanted, and if it felt obvious that's where it was heading with, oh, she's still good by the end of it, I still felt like that was kind of rushed in a way, but that may just be me. But I'll get on to that. Now, this is where I kind of have a couple of issues in the episode, in the sense that, you know, in the first kind of scene with Shadow Thief, they rob that money launderer guy for his money, basically, and, you know, he gets killed. Now, even though Shadow Thief did that, like, this whole episode, Felicity is all about, oh, you know, that, you know, Laurel hasn't, you know, she has changed, blah, 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 don't worry about that, and then they even prove at some point that she didn't, you know, Emiko set her up, but I just felt like saying the whole time, but she literally did stand by and, you know, was, you know, involved in someone's murder this episode. And I'm pretty sure when she used the knife with Shadow Thief to take out the security guards, I'm pretty sure I think we're just supposed to believe, oh, she did an injury that wasn't fatal or something, but they just walked in, sliced those security guards, and it just seemed like she killed them. And I don't know, I just, little bits like that kind of irritate me, because it's like, oh, she didn't kill anyone, it's fine, Laurel didn't go as dark as you guys think, but she was basically that dark during this episode, standing by, or maybe even being involved in murders herself. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Does that kind of stuff bother you a little bit? Essentially, Felicity proves that Emiko framed Laurel, so therefore, you know, she reaches out to Laurel. That was a cool scene. You know, she points out all the good that Laurel's done. This is one of the scenes they used in the trailers, and, you know, Laurel, in a predictable way, we all kind of knew maybe she was just putting on this front, because the whole time, even though she's been trying to be good, people like Wild Dog or even Oliver or several other people have just been like turning their nose up at her, and I guess it pushed her over the edge at one point, to the point where if everyone thinks you're the villain, fine, I'm gonna act that way. So really what Laurel was doing in this episode was, I guess you could say, like a low-key cry for help. I'm sure she thought, like, screw this, I'm gonna do this and be bad, but, you know, with that whole conversation that happened with Felicity and Sarah and everything towards the end of the episode, it was blatant that she still does want to be good. It's just, it was kind of sad that it had to go down the way it did. Now, despite this whole episode being obviously very Laurel based and kind of Birds of Prey based, we did get that kind of main story development with Oliver and Diggle, and this is where I didn't expect to see a longbow hunter, which was Kodiak, and this in turn made Oliver and Diggle find out that Dante has been pulling the strings the whole time, essentially orchestrating Emiko's mother's murder, and that's what has sent her down this path. So literally Dante has been manipulating Emiko this whole time. I guess guess to the point where he wanted her to lead the ninth circle. We're gonna have to wait and see how that pans out for the rest of this season. And Oliver, you know, I believe in a scene towards the end of this episode, thought that he definitely had an ace up his sleeve in terms of, oh, I'm sure that when Emiko learns that what Dante did and how he's been manipulating her, she'll hopefully swap sides. But I don't think that's going to work. I think maybe she might want to kill Dante now, but she's still going to lead the ninth circle. I think it's going to be very self-destructive rather than what Oliver wants for Emiko as redemptive. But either way, this was where Sarah arrives and Dinah arrives in style. This was really, really awesome seeing Sarah Lance as the white canary, if you will. And this is truly where the Birds of Prey action started, because we got a really cool fight scene. But shortly along the way, this is where Felicity kind of learned that, oh crap, like maybe you're right, because Laurel did just try and kill us with a bomb. But that's when Sarah pointed out that, yeah, but there was like a delay on the bomb. Maybe she's not all that rusty, because everyone's thinking, oh, we're just lucky that Black Siren's rusty and that's why we're not dead. No, really, her heart's not in this to kill you, and that started the whole, maybe there still is a bit of good in her. But this is, I get this storyline, this episode, like she's gone bad, but really she's good, and she's gonna come back to the good by the end of the episode. But I just feel like all of that within one episode is very, very, you know, quickly condensed, almost too much. But as I said, maybe that is just me. But it would have been cool if this maybe was stretched out in a couple of episodes, but I totally get that you can't really do that. It's just going dark, full-on Black Siren, and then completely by the end, toasting freaking champagne or bubbles, whatever they had. It's just a bit too much for me. But I think if it wasn't for that talk that Sarah had with Laurel by Quentin's grave about, you know, how she pointed out exactly what a lot of us were thinking. She's been good, she's been trying to be good, and everyone kept like putting her down. And then, you know, Sarah's just like, oh, so you think being good for 5 minutes? And just gave her a bit of a pep talk. You know, and then obviously we had Felicity standing up to Black Siren herself when they were stealing this device that Shadow Thief was going to sell to somebody who would obviously use it to kill God knows how many people. And Felicity called her out on, do you really want that to happen? Now, I personally think that the main reason she kind of came round here is because obviously she didn't want to kill Felicity, but she didn't want to send her blasting back knowing that she was pregnant, because we got that drop later that only kind of Black Siren knows that Felicity is pregnant as of now. And this kind of links us into the flash forwards as well, with how Dinah said that she knew that Oliver and Felicity were pregnant, but like something happened to the point where she didn't even know that the baby survived or something. That was definitely dropped a few episodes back. That's why she was so surprised when she met Mia. So I guess they really do keep that secret right up until the cabin. But this whole scene was truly definitely amazing with all that combat, because Shadow Thief doubted Black Siren and brought a load of backup anyway. And this is definitely what they meant by the Birds of Prey-esque episode. It was just so awesome seeing Dinah, Laurel, Sarah, and Felicity just rock out here in true Arrow fashion. But since Black Siren has now been basically turned over to the light side of the Force, they're all in the Arrow Cave freaking toasting drinks. This is what I mean. As nice as that is, and as much as we all wanted Laurel back over to the good side, it just felt like, wow, like opposite ends of the spectrum from the beginning to the end of the episode. But either way, I do appreciate it for what it is. And this is where Laurel's just like, I'm going to go back to Earth 2. And there was a bit of a reference to Oliver's righting her wrongs on Earth 2. And she's got a long path to redemption, just as teased from that really cool scene in the flash forwards we got with a future Black Canary, if you will, I guess you would say. Not like Black Siren or just Earth 2 Laurel, but the Earth 1 Black Canary mantle, because Felicity ended up giving that original Laurel Black Canary costume to Earth 2 Laurel, which was really cool. So we've already spoke about how she knew she was pregnant, but so she drank both her drinks. Dinah also got Sarah's Sonic Crytek, which would be very handy because obviously when she got her throat slit, she couldn't use her cry. It's just something to do with her vocal cords. She would end up ruining them if she attempts it much more. So it's nice to know we're going to get some more canary cries from Dinah. Now, as for the flash forwards this episode, there wasn't all too much going on. Obviously, last time we got the drop that there was this kind of helmet tech from Galaxy that they were using that's going to be totally badass, and they want to weaponize it all around the world. So when one guy has it, we saw how almost indestructible they are this episode, with him going after Mia and Zoe at the very beginning, and they were running away. I have to admit, Mia is still annoying me, but I totally get that. It's her character. She's always just disobeying orders kind of thing. Not that she has to take orders, but she's always just running into the field of danger and just saying screw you almost to anyone who just disagrees with her. And yeah, at the same time, I know she's young, she's inexperienced, she doesn't have the training, so to speak, in terms of just like being what Oliver is now, adverse to like just running in and just going in guns blazing. So as I said, I get it's a character, but I don't know, she kind of does annoy me a bit at the minute. If you guys remember, they stopped the bombs in the last Flash Forwards episode, but as a result, this made Galaxy put their master plan into action even faster, which, you know, is expanding the Archer influence into Star City and taking out as many Canaries as they can, which we saw in this episode, because over the years, Dinah and Zoe, I guess mainly Dinah, maybe even Black Siren's, Laurel, Black Canary, if you will, have rallied loads of Canaries together. And by the end of the Flash Forwards, we saw one of the Canaries on the floor dying or either beaten up freshly from the Galaxy head tech dude, if you will. We need to find a name for him. But this is what I mean, like Mia like knows the truth now that vigilantes aren't freaking terrorists or anything like that, but just flings the freaking Black Canary pin straight back in Dinah's hand. And it's just like, why are you being such a douche? I mean, yeah, you don't have to be a Black Canary, but she's still acting like a bit of an ass. But either way, she went out there, tried to face him, and this is what I meant. She was just punching like a wall when it came to fighting him. She didn't do like any damage, and it kind of made me feel happy, to be honest, because I was like, yeah, maybe you're gonna learn a lesson. But that's when Laurel came in from the future, which was really, really cool. I have to admit, really, really cool touch. And obviously defeated that guy with her Black Canary cry. She gave the helmet to Mia to give to Felicity, and you know, it was a really kind of cool moment because we know how close Felicity feels to Laurel, and she was commenting about how much she looks like her and everything like that. It was just a really cool scene. But other than that, there wasn't so much going on in this episode, apart from the fact that in the next episode, this means they're gonna like probably tinker with that helmet and know exactly how they can kind of oppose the Galaxy group, if you will, in terms of their massive Archer plans. But that was the episode, guys. So, you know, it was a cool episode, but, you know, it's definitely not one of my favorites. I definitely have to say that. Other than that, you know, it definitely is in line with Arrow Season 7 episodes being good. I'll definitely put it up there. But I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. Did you enjoy this episode? Was it one of your favorites of the season? Did you have the kind of similar issues with it than what I did? And when do you think Laurel's going to come back? Do you think it's just the finale for when Team Arrow will need all of this help with, I assume, the Archer program being released, and this is what's going to start the descent of Star City into like kind of vigilante darkness, for them being viewed as kind of like, you know, not people who help the society, but those who make it a lot worse of a place. But aside from that, everyone, as I said at the beginning of the video, join the Discord server if you want to talk to me about Arrow more directly. Subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. Give it a like if you did enjoy it, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you vigilantes in the next video. Goodbye.